Hi, everybody. I'm Cindy Johnson. I'm just going to do a quick introduction of Jen, who I do not have the privilege of knowing, but Jen, I'm stepping in last minute just to host this. So Jen is here, right? I don't see her because I can't see the way it is. Okay, I get nods. Yes, I thought I saw her earlier. So Patty is doing the recording, and Jen, you are going to talk to us today about 5 success tips for table. And I understand you are one of the Ryan organization top sellers, and you are doing exclusivity on table. Is that right? You're exclusive on table?
Yes. Yep. I'll go into detail about that. I'm going to share my screen here.
Great. I'm glad you are. So do you have any questions you need to ask us before we let you share your wisdom and insight?
Not currently.
All right, Jen, we are so happy. So tell us a little bit, because I don't have a bio on you. Tell us a little bit about how you got started in Pampered Chef before you share everything, unless that's part of your thing.
It is. I have a little
Okay, good.
that I'm going to do. Yep.
Great.
So,
Thanks. I'm going to let you share.
yeah, no problem. So so I'm going to give you, I like recipes. So I'm giving you 5 ingredients for successful virtual parties on table specifically. It is a little bit different than Facebook, I would say, but I think it's like a ton better. So, so here's a little introduction about my history with table, just to get started with this. I have been using it 100% since June 2021. I've done over 350 parties since that time on table, and I've had 276,000 plus sales since June of 2021 as well. So I'm coming up on 18 months of exclusively using table. And before I went fully on table, I was on Facebook. So giving you a little bit of background about that, I've been a consultant for 6 years. I'm from Minnesota. I have 2 kids. One is 19. My son's 19. He's a second year college student at the Naval Academy. So we don't get to see him very much at all, but we get to FaceTime. My daughter is going to graduate from high school this year. So busy household. And that was one of the main reasons I decided to go from cooking shows to virtual shows in addition to COVID. But I was doing 100% cooking shows from August 2016 to March 2020. Started with 2 parties a month for about the first year. Then the second year, I'm like, well, I could do more. And so I actually boosted it to 8 to 10 per month and basically did it full time. And that's when I actually left my day job, which was a registered dietitian for a school, planning all their menus and things like that. So then when COVID happened, I had to fully pivot, as I know everyone did, but I honestly really didn't know what I was doing with virtual parties. Started my Facebook parties just by doing fundraisers for April of 2020. That's how I got into online parties. And then was like full, it just kind of like exploded. As we all know that COVID, a ton of people had parties. However, by August of 2020, I was like feeling the burn on, I don't want to sit at my computer answering comments all day long that mean nothing. And I just felt like that's all I was doing, especially coming from being a cooking show consultant. I just really wanted to do demos. And so I kind of changed my virtual parties around more so that I could do that, but still was finding I was spending a ton of time on that process with Facebook, and not everybody was seeing it. And I just, for myself, did something different. So when table was introduced, I quickly signed up as a tester. I don't remember if that was the actual name for it, but you could test it out. I started to do 1 party a month from December 2020 to May of 2021. And basically I would run them as shared rewards parties for my own people. Not every month, I would say we did shared rewards, but every other month for sure. Just to get people acclimated and also to get me acclimated with it. And that's how I started to really think, okay, this is going to really help my business and help me with work-life balance as well. So that's what I'm sharing. And at the end, if you guys have questions, you can definitely ask, but I'm going to share, let's see if I can make this go forward. There we go. My top success tips. So this is from my experience of all of these table parties. So the number 1 tip I have is to host, coach for attendance. And it's not just through text. So when I was doing Facebook parties, I was doing a lot of like text coaching, even though before when I was doing in-home parties, I was doing phone coaching. So I don't know why I did that other than just the fact that that's what everybody was doing. However, that phone call makes a huge difference. So you can, talk about their wish list. You can get to know them a little bit more. Obviously, we all know that kind of thing. But just to give you an example, I'm always shooting for 15 plus in my table parties. I even aim for them to have 25. But I would say it's probably 10 to 20% of the time people actually get 25. 15 is more common. And that's fine with me because I find that even with 15, we have really successful parties. And I do believe that that comes from the fact that that first call. So last week, 3 different hosts, 3 different parties. My first thing for them is I send them a little, like today on a Monday, I'll send them a little text that just says, hey, I'm super excited about your party. And I'm getting everything set up. Would you watch this quick little video, which is a 5-minute video that literally just talks about the process of the party itself. And the reason I do that is because I was finding myself constantly talking about all the little steps and they kind of just glaze over, and I'm not going to do that anymore. So I have them watch the video and then I ask them what time works best for a quick 5-minute phone call to talk about their hostess goodies. And I give them some time slots, just kind of like your cable company says will be there between 11 and 1. I do the same thing. Like, would you prefer 8 to 10 on a Wednesday? Would you prefer, I just give them a couple of different options and I tell them it's a quick call. And they always say, oh, great. 8 o'clock this day works great. And then I was actually doing specific times before that. Like, would you like 8 o'clock, 8:15? But then I'd find that with multiple hosts, people would sign up for the same time. And then I'd have to tell them, oh, I'm sorry, someone else took that time. So I just give them the time slot. It works a lot better. And then so I revisit that video then. I tell them, make sure you watch the video before our call because then we can just chat about your wish list. So I could kind of like do 2 little seed plantings of make sure they watch that video, and they do. So then on the call, I basically just talk to them about what's on their wish list, and they have their wish list done by then too. So I give them that little link to do that. And that's important because I want to know what they want. And then I ask them if they had any questions about how the party will work after they've watched the video. So for me, that is so much more efficient, and it's great for them because they're literally just telling me more about what they want to talk about, which is their wish list. And if they have questions, I can answer them about products too, because sometimes we'll get into some longer conversations of cookware and they're just like, I don't know which cookware to pick. And so it's really a great time to help serve them on different product information as well. And then staying in communication through the party. So I will have that phone call, then I'll send them a little thanks for spending some time with me on the phone. And here's the little top 50 graphic to making their guest list. I do send them a posting packet. And one of the things I give them that is very helpful, and you'd be surprised that they all do this, but it's I don't know if you can see it really well, but it's basically a guest list helper, and it has 70 spots on it. And then there's 2 little circles. And I think actually, because I've shared this with Home Office, and I think they actually developed something like this that's in marketing imagery now. And it's got 2 little circles where it says invited and then joined. And so it's easy for them to first list out everything, everyone's names, and then they can say, okay, did I invite them? Check mark. Did they actually join? Check mark. So I have them text me a picture of this once their party is getting ready to start, so that I can kind of keep track too of how many people they're going to invite, and also who of that list is actually attending. So I probably spend the most time with this portion, but it is a good investment of your time. So I think that having their wish list done before you get on the call and having them watch a quick little video is very key to that. Oops, let's see. The second success tip for you is making sure that you communicate guests through the party. This is so much easier through Table than it is through Facebook, because you actually have access to them when they put in their email or their cell phone or both. I find that when you get to know the guests and you're telling them that you're there to serve them, it's really a great way to build that relationship. And then they're going to take further steps with you. So the first thing is, when I actually send the invite words to the host to send out, in those invite words is not only the link to join, but it's also letting them know that they were thought of and that the party is going to be featuring whatever it is. And the first 15 to join get a special welcome gift. And then with their cell phone number. So that welcome gift is simply an ebook, but it's a really nice little extra added bonus. And so I will send that in the email. And to be honest, I don't count the first 15. I send it to everyone, but for them, it's that little that number, like extra thing. Oh, I got to be one of the first 15. So I have a lot of people will join quickly because they want to take action on that. And then I'll also welcome them with a text. And this is through Project Broadcast. It's automated. It just says, welcome to the party. I'm super excited to get to know you more. I have a catalog for you. And what would you say you have the most difficulty with in the kitchen? And I give them a couple of options about some different challenges. So that's a shorter welcome, but it comes with a picture of myself and gives like top 5 fun facts about me on the picture. And then it just is a way for me to open the door to some conversations. Some of them will respond, some of them don't. And that's fine. I'm not going to be, where are you? How come you're not answering me? So they'll get both the text and the email. Email's longer, it's got more info, it's got the specials, it's got the link to the catalogs, it's got a little video. Actually, that's included in the text as well. I have a little welcome video that's like 2 minutes. And so they can get to know me by just clicking on that video. And then if they watch that video and they see that I say, oh, you can get an extra bonus free gift, they'll text me the words meal plan. And then I send them the special like 5-day menu planner. So yeah, so then I do a check-in text kind of like 2 or 3 days after they've been welcomed in, just to see like how they're liking the party. Is there any products that they have questions about? If they have not ordered by the day before the end of the party, I will send them a quick little reminder with the link to the party so that they have that right at their fingertips. And then I'll ask them in that text, is there any questions that I can answer for you about products that you are interested in? I also have my host send out reminders, but I do it as a backup because I know while some hosts say they do it, they don't do it to all of them, or they're nervous about doing it, or they don't want to seem pushy. And so I just do that. Anyone that hasn't ordered. So even if they get double from them or from the host and from myself, I think that's okay because then they're getting it from 2 different angles. And then they'll also get a booking ask. So that depends on a couple of different things. If they've ordered, then I will send the booking ask in the thank you. So it'll just be like, thanks so much for your order. I know you're going to love your products. Once you get them, if you have any questions, please contact me. And then I'll go into the booking ask. If they haven't ordered by the couple hours before the end of the party, I'll send them a text that just says, thanks for participating. I just wanted to check to see if you'd be interested in hosting as well. And then if they don't answer that, they do get a follow-up on that too. So for higher sales and for higher bookings, these are the things that I'm doing. So that's what I'm sharing here. The third tip, I think this one can really help a lot. It's to keep your party simple, easy to understand, easy to navigate, have a theme. Don't just show all 150 products. Actually, we have like 450, so that would be way too many. I have less than 5 probably that I show in the party. People will find other stuff. I just like to kind of centralize it. And it's kind of like going into Target or TJ Maxx, and all those things are overwhelming. But if you see a mannequin with some clothes you like, you're probably going to buy that outfit, right? So same kind of thing. I'd rather just kind of make an outfit for them. And then they can either choose to purchase that or find other things too. So I do less than 14 posts in total. I also do it as a 1-day party, essentially. So when the party is open, like Thursday is when I send the link to my host to join, I have everything posted. I have it from the beginning of the welcome. All they need to do is literally scroll down and they'll see the entire party. I find that this works the best for me. People don't generally come back. I think the percentage I last heard was 30% are coming back. And I think that that's very similar to what Facebook has too. Like they're not always coming back to see it. They don't know where to go to find it, even though you're maybe giving them the info. People are busy. So if they can see everything all at once, a lot of people will take action and order right away. And of course, you have the people that procrastinate and want to order at the end, and that is okay too. I do a mix of things. It's not just product. So it's get to know me a little bit more. There's a couple of engagement things like games. And then I feature recipe ideas that then feature tools within that. So I also highly suggest that you include videos of yourself, either welcoming them, or maybe it is a quick little demo of a tool you love. I'll give you some examples. I'm going to show you what my party looks like this week, this Halloween party that I've got going. But I highly encourage you to do videos for sure. Success tip number 4 is to book parties from parties. And I think that one thing that I like to keep in mind is be genuine and ask how you would want to be asked. Think about when the last time you attended an online party yourself was. Like, where you were the guest, right? If someone came at you and asked you in a spammy way, you know you're not going to say yes to that. But if they were more like, oh, you know, different ways, like do it how it feels good to you is how I'm trying to say. So that's why for me, I've tried like everything. I literally have tried everything. There are things that feel not so good. And so I don't do those at all. Even the thing where everybody wins, it does not work for me. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. So the things that work for me are asking with a thank you. So it's kind of like while you have them, you're going to be able to capture their attention by just asking if they'd be interested in that option too. And then also I have the Google Door Prize slip that I have done since the very beginning of when I was doing virtual parties. This works really well for me to help know what's on their wish list. And then if I see something that correlates to an upcoming host special, I will go back, and I often will get bookings that way. And I will do that too while they're in the party. But if it's not on sale yet, I may let them know that I will watch for that. The prize at the end of the party with the offer to upgrade, that's the everybody wins. That isn't, you know, if that's working for you, great. For some reason, I don't know why it doesn't work for me. Also, customer care after the purchase. So 2 weeks after the purchase, when I ask them if their items have arrived. I will then, if they respond and say, yes, I'm loving everything, I will then ask them, you know, I'd love to help you with more items that you might like to get on your wish list, but at a discount. Would you be interested in hosting a party, you know, next week? Because we have some great holiday specials or whatever it pertains to. And then I always ask those who didn't order. So at the end of the party, if they haven't ordered, like I mentioned, I do send a little note that just says our party is ending. We'd love to help you with a virtual party as well. So you can get some items at a discount and you can help our host as well, get an extra bonus. I have this date and this date available. What do you think? I find that giving the dates is really helpful because people know to be like, oh, I can do that because it's November 4th or whatever it is. So that I think the best thing I can tell you on this slide is just be genuine. It's just more about how you're coming off, how you feel about it, I think really makes a big difference. And then success tip number 5 is really key to me, because how many times have you been in your business doing stuff and you're like, this isn't fun anymore. I don't like it. I can't stand it, whatever it might be. So make sure you're bringing back the fun. The main reason I signed up to be a consultant in August of 2016, totally honest, I just wanted to have some fun because I wasn't having fun in my day job. I wanted to have fun. So I have found that when I get so involved in the little nitty processes of things and, you know, things aren't going your way, so then you get upset or whatever it might be, frustration, stress, things aren't panning out how you wanted them to be, you tend to attract more of that into your life because that's just what's happening. So I think the more fun you can have, the better off your life will be, but the better off your parties will be too. So for me, fun means I do a 1-day party because I don't want to sit and look at the party every single day and look for who commented today. What did they say? Oh, great job. Okay. I don't care. I just want to help you with your needs. So the 1-day party works for me. I do add a couple of recipes a few days into it, and they're themed around whatever the theme is. So like Halloween, for example, I'll post a couple of Halloween recipes. Record some cooking demonstrations. For me, the cooking show was really fun for me, like the in-home parties. And so doing demos for me is very fun. So if that's fun for you, or you can make it fun, I would highly suggest it. And then also a really great thing about Table is that you can host a weekly live event, and you can go live in all your parties at the same time. And you can do that via Zoom. You can do it on your Facebook business page. You can do it in your Facebook group. Basically, what you're doing when you set that up is you set up a little link to where it's going to be. And then when people are clicking to say, I'm interested, and then when they join it, that's where it will go. So you can't necessarily set up a link to a certain post on Facebook, but you can set it up to your business page, for example, so that they can find it there. And you could give details about that. So less serious, more fun, and like just be real. Like who, when you're thinking about recipes that you want to showcase, think about what day it is right now. What season are we in? What are people thinking about? I think is a really key thing. So let me show you what my party looks like. This is what my current layout is. Hopefully it opens here. It's taking a moment. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is just a host that is just starting. So I just put a little like fun picture always at the top. And I don't try to get the host to do that much, to be honest. I really want her to focus on sending out invitations. That is my main goal for the host. I want her to get out 50. Now, this girl said she could only send out 25. So I'm working on her a little bit more today. So if you see that there's only 5 in here, that is why. But that's okay. I have, like an example. I don't know why this is actually causing these lines to form, but as an example, I have my other host has 11 people in her party, and she's already at 500 in sales. So you can't always equivalate the number of guests to exactly how much. Now, I know if they have 20 or more, they will likely have $1,000 party, but I had one lady had 13 in her party last week, and she had a $950 party. I had another lady had 16, and she had a $2,200 party. So you have, all kinds of different things that happen. So this is just I'll come back to this top post here. Looks like it's going to take a moment to load, but what I want to share is what I do for my hosts, or what I'd have my hosts do when they first join, is I always have them do a welcome, because I think it's important for their friends to see exactly them when they come in. So they share what their favorite product is, why they wanted to host. So I have them do that. And my little welcome is here. You can see I do a lot of different little videos. So they get their little free cookbook here. They can message me for questions. This is a special welcome. This is also texted to them and emailed to them, but also in the party. And it's just a 2-minute thing about welcoming them to the party and how I can help them with a meal plan. And if they send me those words, I will send them a meal plan. And then we just continue that conversation from there. Just little graphics to give a little bit of pizzazz to the party to get started. Then I always have like a fill in the blank, depending on whatever the topic is. You can see people actually comment. And then I have a little, like every month I try to do a little roundup of some of my favorites. And I always include some things that are either on sale for them or great host specials for whatever month I want to book in. So this one has, I feature, I don't know, 3 or 4 different products. So it's just for them to get to know me a little bit more. And again, it's not a very long video. I think it's like 3 or 4 minutes. So then I have a little word scramble, Halloween word scramble, and I always do a word scramble and they have to message me their answers, and they do. A lot of people like word scrambles, and I only ask them to actually send me 1 word. How often I get all 10 is really amazing. So people really sit there and they're like, I wonder what that is. So, and then just the actual party portion, I like to just, like I said, feature about 5 products or so. So this is the new Brilliance cookware. I give them a little how to choose cookware. If you want to watch this video, it's on my YouTube channel. But just giving them the differences between cookware and what to look for, but then also a little bit more about the Brilliance. And then I have a little recipe that I made with the taco chili mac. And so they can watch all of that. And what I like about this is it's on their own time. You know, they don't have to show up at any certain time if they don't want to. Another thing is, you know, I choose things specifically for hosting specials. So I have the stone baker in here, the rectangular baker. So I have how I made my French toast in there for the overnight French toast. And I honestly tape these on my business page. I download them and then I put them in my YouTube channel. So it works really well for that, because then I can repurpose that as well. So I try to be strategic. So a little bit more about the stoneware, a couple of recipes that go with that. And then I always do a little something about the rapid prep mandolin, because it's one of my top favorites. I think every household needs one and they can save so much money when they use one. So again, I have a little video about that. Something about fall baking. So just sharing, you know, one of my favorite products with that. And then the stone pie plate. Again, these are all just like really seasonal. So keeping that in mind, I find that if a party is just the same every single month, people aren't as eager to book a party. And I think that this allows for them to see like it's not going to be the same party. In fact, I was listening to a training from a different person, not a Pampered Chef person, but they had done some research on why people don't book parties. And the number one reason was because it was going to be the same party again. So I always think of like, I wouldn't want to go to the same thing twice. So best to change it up. And then I always do a this or that. This helps me know like if someone's actually interested in one of these things, that I can then approach them about hosting. I share about the special again. Talk about the hosting coupons they can get. If they book a party or say they want to, they get to pick a little Apple prize as well. And then this is the recruiting post. They can ask me things. And then the last post is to shop. So it's waiting to come. There's a little graphic with this, but that is my party. So you can see it's not anything complicated. They can see everything when they join the party. I'm going to try to go up here. Let's see here. And then, as I said, I do share like a new recipe here or there. So like today and tomorrow, I'm sharing a little Halloween recipe. So that's why I've got this spooktacular pizza in here, and to feature the stoneware. And I give them a couple of other things that they can do with it. And here's another little video with me doing something with the stoneware, and then our stoneware sale. So that is what that looks like. I think it's kind of simple and easy, and I enjoy the party because it has a strategy behind it, and it's also just kind of fun and light and easy. So that's what that looks like. Let's see here. We can get back. Here we go. Hopefully you can see my screen again. So here's a couple of testimonials. These are recent. These are in the last couple of weeks. So Chris was a guest, and she says, I love the format of the party. It's refreshing not to be on Facebook for a change. So how I get these is as part of the Google door prize slip. There's a little spot to leave feedback about the party, and that's where then people will write these in. A host recently said, I like the table platform better than a Facebook party. I would definitely recommend it to friends. My favorite thing about hosting is seeing the demos and recipes. So those are just a couple of recent ones. So in conclusion, just follow the recipe for success. And I know you can apply these to other types of parties as well, you know, whether you do them on Facebook or table, but specifically for table, this is what's helped me have those high amount of sales and continue to have, you know, 15 to 20 parties every month. So number one, host coaching for attendance is key. Communicating with your guests is key. Keeping your parties simple and focused is key. Booking parties from your parties, and then simply having fun, because I think that's mostly what it's all about. So that is my presentation, and I'm sure some of you may have questions, but I'm happy to answer.
Yes. Hi, Jen, that was awesome. I loved your creativity. And I love that you carry a theme visually. So even though you're sharing so much, it's just so nice and it's pleasing to the eye.
Mhm.
So my background, your background's being a nutritionist, mine is graphic design, and you've nailed it, girl.
Oh, good.
Just to say, Dana, you can't come eat at my house. I would not have nailed it in a nutrition. Like, I'm thinking meal plan. I might need that from her. But we all have different skills, right? So
Right.
there are some questions. I've been going through chat. So someone wanted to know, to the guest list you said with the 2 boxes of invited and joined. It is someone has found it. It is in the virtual host coaching packet for table parties, is my understanding. If someone misunderstood that, they can come off. Do we want to, Patty, if you're available, do we want to, or Jen, do we want to stop the screen share so we can see each
Sure.
other in Q&A?
Yep,
I don't know if that would be
Yep.
better. Okay.
Mhm.
So then the other questions were, do you use home office as outlines or your own?
I've done both. So I started with home offices outlines. I find for myself, they're a little bit heavy on content and can get lost very easily with like, just there's so much. So that's why I now just develop my own. I kind of have my own little template, and then I'll just swap things in based on what's going on that month. So, but I do think that they have great outlines. And before I was making my own, I still made a 1-day party with home office outlines. So I just kind of made things all come together in 1 day of 14 posts versus dripping them out. But yes, there's some really great content there, especially if you're just starting with table.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So Susan asked, and Susan, you may have to come off speaker or help explain this. I'm not sure I'm understanding, but Jen
Yeah,
might. It
I
says,
was asking about you go Facebook Live on your biz page, and you said you saved them. I used to be able to save all my Facebook Lives before. Like I used to do that all the time and save it to my phone and then upload it to YouTube and use them. I haven't been able to do that. And are you still just doing it from your business page? Is there a new place to save it?
I haven't had trouble with that. So I just go live and then those little 3 dots in the corner of the post, but first clicking on the timestamp of the post and then the 3 dots. You should be able to then see it'll say download copy or something like that.
Okay. I used to
have to go to the timestamp.
Oh,
Yeah.
so are you doing it on your phone or
No,
as soon as you're
on
done?
on my computer? I'm on my computer. Mhm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
mhm. So someone said, how long are your parties? So we all understood in the chat, we were going back and forth. They're 1 day.
Yes.
But you open it and then close it the next day? How long do you let the host continue collecting orders?
Yes, let me clarify that. You're probably like, what? How does that work? So no, I have everything posted for having a 1-day party, meaning that it's all there, but the party is open for a week. So Friday to Friday.
Friday to Friday. So you said you invite the host on a Thursday.
Yep.
So you run it on Friday and they have till the following Friday to collect orders.
Yes. Yeah.
So does this put you in a place of closing parties on the weekend on a Saturday? When do you have a time frame? You talk to the host and say, hey, this is the day we close.
Yep. So like the guest closing is Friday night at 9 p.m.
Okay.
And then Saturday morning, I will send a quick text to the host that just says, here's where you're at. here's how to do your host order. If you can do that by Sunday night, and then I'll take a look at it Monday morning, because I honestly don't want to work on the weekend. So if people text me, I won't be responding. But unless it's like an urgent issue, you know, I do look at them then. But I find that that works the best. The host then has the weekend to shop. And then also every single weekend, like Saturday morning, I'll also send a little email to all the guests in the party that just says, I know how the week gets busy. I'm extending it for one day only today. If you had any, you know, if you wanted to grab something. And then I give them like a couple of links, like top holiday gift ideas, quick and easy wedding gifts. They're links to things that we have on our Pampered Chef blog. That works really, really well. I always get orders Saturdays because people just get busy and they forget, or they just needed a break from the whole week, you know, and they're like, okay, finally Saturday I can look at things. And I do send my emails to my guests. You know, I'll send them the welcome email. Basically, that's usually on a Friday or a Monday. It just kind of depends on how quick that host gets her people in there. But then I will send like a countdown. So Tuesday, 3 days left to shop the party. Wednesday, 2 days left to shop the party. Thursday, 1 day left to shop the party. And then Friday, last day to shop the party. So I'm not telling that I'm going to extend it until Saturday morning.
Okay.
But those emails are very helpful. And so you may think that no one reads their email, but people do, because I'll send it out and people will always email, or not email, but they'll always order just, you know, like right after. So
I like that. Okay. So every day your guests are getting an email reminder, this is happening.
Yep. And I do it religiously in the mornings. So like they probably start to see a pattern, like it's usually around 8 a.m. I just like I have my own little template, copy paste. It takes me less than 5 minutes.
Okay. Are you sending the emails through Project Broadcast, or you're just doing it by hand?
I'm doing it like through Table, where you can click all of the guests and then you can press the email button and then it connects to my email on my computer. And then I go to my notes, I copy what this email is supposed to say, paste it into my email, copy the shopping link, copy the party group link, put that in there where I know I need to add that, and send. So literally, if I have like 5 parties going in that week, 10 parties going in that week, I can get them all done like in about a minute per party.
Okay. Excellent. I was reading.
So that's for emailing. Do you text as well through the party or through Project Broadcast?
Yep. I do a little bit of both. So they'll get the welcome text through Project Broadcast, usually the same day that they enter the party. But if it's been, you know, if it's really late in the night, I don't send it until the next business day. Then I will send them through Project Broadcast a little like, hey, how's it going? Do you have any questions? So that's usually 2 or 3 days into the party after they've joined. Then they'll get that reminder text, and then they'll get the booking text. So they get a total of 4 texts maximum from my Project Broadcast. Now, with the texting ability that's available through Table, I will use that if I post something new in the morning. Like I'll say, oh, new recipe posted. So I'll push that. I maybe do that like once or twice through the week. And then I'll do a last chance to shop, usually on Thursday, and then also one more time on that Friday. Because sometimes people aren't checking their email or, you know, whatever it might be. So I do a combination. I have a checklist for myself, if that's helpful.
You have to have a system, right? You can't hold, I can't hold that in my brain.
Yeah.
Carolyn asked, would you be willing to share your Canva template? Just to need a reminder of the different posts you do. She loves the consistent look of your post and how they're numbered. So I did notice as a graphic, a visual person, you had some really clever ones, like the, I wrote them down, like the image of the, here's all the host coupons, you know, the host rewards as a visual.
Yes.
There did look like there was some very unique, real thought out. I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing a Canva template or maybe posting a few of those in that you find are helpful in the group, so then we can model, of course, our own face.
Right. I'll definitely show or share pictures of them. I don't know if I wanted to share the actual template because I paid for the template.
Very fair.
So yeah, but yes, I can share like the photos of them, screenshots. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will address Carolyn when you said in your comment, Carolyn, that the consistent look, that is so true. It's really good. Like when you are branding yourself or anything, it's good to decide what are your colors and what is your look. And I noticed a similar tone to your color palette, and I noticed a similar look. And so when then people start seeing that, they associate with you. It's no different than a logo. So I think a consistent look, good theme is to always have the same border or always have the same color palette, not be changing up your design, which really makes it easier to do images, right? Once you get that feel, it's like boom, 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 and you have it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Heather asked, okay,
that makes it fun to actually come up with a new theme, because if you already have the template there, you're more excited to just slide things in. So yeah.
Absolutely. Heather asked, how many parties a week do you run? Do you run all one-day parties on the same day? Like, so I heard you say, my understanding was Friday. Friday's your party day.
Yeah. So yeah, I do like anywhere from 5 to 8 a week. It just kind of depends on the week. And yes, they all start on the same day. They all end on the same day. So for me, I'm all about efficiency and systems. So if I can do the same thing for all 8 hosts on a Monday, then I'm going to do that. Otherwise it's too much like, oh, when is this person? I don't know when that person is. Just keep it all the same.
You sound like a check the box girl like me.
Yeah.
Like check the box, done. That's why I don't like laundry. It always keeps coming. Like I never can check the laundry box.
Yeah. And I don't tell my hosts that they're like 7 other hosts. You know, they all think that they're the only one that week.
Of course.
I think that that's important. You don't want them to feel like there was a time when I was doing Facebook parties that I would put all my hosts in a group chat. And that was like recommended to me. And I don't think that that's very good, because then they start feeling like they're just part of the assembly line and moving in and moving out. So.
Yeah, Mary asked, fantastic graphics. How long did it take you to get all together creating it in the videos? So I heard you say that you actually hired someone to help you pull this all together.
Yeah, for the template, yes. I don't remember how much I paid for the template, but it was not much.
Yeah, but asking how long did it take you to get all this together? Your videos, graphics. Was it something you sat down and decided, hey, this week I'm really going to focus on this, or this day? Or was it something like, hey, I have an idea, I'm going to sort of slowly replace the home office template?
I'm more of a person that just like, okay, I'm doing this today. Because I don't want it to drag out and then I forget where I'm at with it. So I just go for it. There's no reason to overthink it. And I think that we all get into that. I'm definitely like class number 1 overthinker. So just go dive right in. But the videos, I mean, I try to be strategic. So look at what's coming up for host specials, then look at recipes that go with whatever that is. And you know, like November, it's 60% off of any 2 items. Choose which 2 things that you're going to be most excited about. And then make a couple of recipe videos that feature those. That's what I'm going to do. So that's what I would encourage you to do too.
Nancy Francis asked a really good question. She asked, do you have the host ask if they want to join and then give the link with another message with the table message, or is the invitation to join table all in one package?
I've done it both ways. At the beginning, it did work to have a 2-part message. People are busier now though, so no. So they get one message. You know, I thought of you, I'm hosting this party, I'm super excited about it. The first 15 that join get a special gift. Here's the link, just add your cell phone and email so you can get the link or get the gift. And will I see you there? So it ends with a question, because you're trying to help them also engage with their friends and family. You don't want it to just be like, oh, you're part of my number of 50, so I'm just going to blast these out. But I have had many hosts say to me after they sent the invites, that was really fun to send those out because I was able to communicate and connect with people that I haven't talked to in a while. So that is always for me a win. Like if they can say that to me, I know that I'm doing my job better, because they're not just blasting out buy me because I need more host rewards. You know, they're really just looking for authentic connection.
Absolutely. What are some of the questions you ask in your party survey? This is a question coming from Bridget.
You mean like the door price slip, or?
That's what I'm imagining Bridget's asking. Bridget, if you want to come off voice, if that's what you're asking for the door price slip.
It's pretty I don't even know. I would say it's name, email, who's your host, what kinds of Pampered Chef items are on your wish list. And I've kind of gone back and forth with actually having examples of what could be on their wish list versus leaving it open-ended. And then I'll ask them, what's their favorite holiday? And I like to do that because then guess what? If your favorite holiday is Halloween, we should have a Halloween party for you. Then I also ask them, what are they most interested in? And I give them like a list, basically like, is it an online party? Is it a dual hosted party? Is it a catalog party? Is it a bridal shower? Is it a fundraiser? So they have like 5 options there. I do have an other box so that they can say, no, I'm not interested, which happens. And then I also ask them about, are they interested in learning more about Pampered Chef too? And then at the end, it is just a simple, like, what feedback do you have about the party itself? Like, what could I do better?
Mm-hmm. So back to the meal plan. Someone else says they would love the meal plan too.
Guess what? Everyone, you already have access.
Great. Tell us.
So in marketing imagery, there's a booklet that actually there's 2 of them. One of them is the rock crock and one of them's the grill pan. And they're like a 5-day menu plan. Has a grocery shopping list, has the 5 recipes, has little tips for meal planning. I just use that as a link in my response. Like, yay, you want the meal plan. I'm super excited to give it to you. Here it is. You can download it and print it. And then I'll ask them, a question related to cooking. Like, what kind of cooking do you like to do the most? Microwave, oven, stovetop, whatever. So just to keep that conversation going, because you don't just want to give it to them and then nothing happens. Like, you want to ask them a question at the end.
Absolutely. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And someone asked, are you for hire to make templates? But I think we got the understanding that you even delegated that.
Well, I mean, I made the template, but I bought the template, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I personalized the template.
Yes,
But
of course.
yeah, but it's easy. I mean, you can find some really good templates in Canva as well. I think the main gist is just having it look like an actual Facebook party template is kind of what it looks like, but it's even better.
Yes. Do you ever push a party out to the next week if a host doesn't have a certain number of people in a party?
Rarely. I will continue to try to work with the host on getting more people into the party. Like this one that I showed you, she has 5, and I asked her how many she invited, and she said 25 because that's all she has. And that's not true, but whatever. So I encouraged her to post on Facebook. She said, I did that already last week. I said, do it again. Only 10% of your friends see it. And then I will also, when we do reminders, she will send one to all 25 she invited originally, not just the ones that she had come into the party.
Right.
So I will continue to work with her on expanding how many people are there until the party is over on Friday. So it's kind of like it's not over till it's over type thing.
Absolutely. There was
And also the catalog sharing. Like, I'll tell her, go take your catalog to work with you and do all that kind of stuff too.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of times I'm even saying, it doesn't have to be who will live in your community. We go all over the United States and pull out your Christmas card list while you're sending them. There was a lot of conversation back and forth about the texting versus email and back and forth, but I think you were going into that as these were popping into the chat.
I find that email is really probably more efficient for me and also better outcomes, to be honest.
Okay.
I get more orders after an email than I do after a text. When I send out my project broadcast reminder text on a Thursday, I'll get a couple people to respond. Oh yeah, I forgot. Thanks for the reminder. But I tend to get more outcomes with an email, and it's just a daily email.
Well, if you think about that, people with texting are looking at it all. Like I look at it during a commercial, during a sitcom. I look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the checkout line, 3 people back. Oh, what's this text?
Yeah.
But I'm certainly not in a place to stop, pull up my credit card, make those decisions. And an email is, I'm sitting down at the computer. I'm ready to focus on this.
Yes.
So that's an interesting observation you've had. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you use Connection Point too?
Yes. I love Connection Point. I wish Connection Point was Project Broadcast, to be honest, but
Okay.
yes, I use that. So that's how they're going to get that first party welcome, because it connects and then it just puts them right into the campaign and Project Broadcast, so that they get that text message. That campaign also not only has the welcome text, but it has like 2 or 3 days later that kind of check-in text that I was mentioning, like, hey, how are you enjoying the party? Is there any questions that I can answer for you? Did you see the blank? It's one of my favorites, or something like that. But I only have 2 things in that little campaign.
Okay.
But all of my orders that come through, I love using Connection Point to send those. It's great.
So somebody's asked, Peggy's asked approximately how many hours do you spend on parties per day or week? So can you give us an overview with the number? I mean, you're being very productive and very successful in the business.
Yeah.
What generally do you feel your routine is with schedule?
Because I can, pre-schedule texts and things like that from Project Broadcast, and my email, I have copy paste system that I have. I'm going to be totally honest. I spend probably 2 hours a day or less.
Great.
5 days a week. There's days I can be like, it's an hour and I'm done with my stuff. So that's the main thing for me that was huge in getting off Facebook. I was spending 8 to 10 hours a day on my Facebook parties.
Mhm.
Now I can do 1 to 2 hours a day
Mhm.
and then do other things.
I
Can
love
we
that.
all get an amen? Woo!
So a couple other questions, and then I know we're coming on our time. Do you feel comfortable sharing the contact you have that did design the base of your template? A couple people would love to know that.
Sure. Yeah. How would I share that?
Do you want to put it in the
I
directory?
could send a link to somebody and then they could share it out or whatever.
Yeah, Jen, if you send me any of your information you want to share, then I post it with the replay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yay. Thanks, Denise.
Yep.
Thanks, Denise, because I didn't know. And any advice for those who want to flip from Facebook to Table? Like how any advice, like talking to your host about doing Table instead?
Yeah. So when I did that transition, it was a hard stop on Facebook and a big start on Table. Like May 2021, I ran my last Facebook party. June 1st, I'm all into Table. And I freaked out the week and 2 weeks before that, thinking, oh crap, this is not going to work. What am I doing? However, I did it. I pushed through that fear. And I just told my host, I didn't give them the option. I just said, this is where we're doing it. It's going to be much easier. I had to sell it to them, kind of like we sell anything. I said, it's going to be less distractions. People can jump in when they want to. They'll see things because they'll get a quick little email update. And it's going to be a little bit more high quality, I would say, because they're not just relying on a news feed to finding things. It's going to be all there for them. So I say, go for it. But I was more brave. Yes, I had fear, but I was more brave because I had done 6 months of trials of Table before that. Now, I'm not saying you have to do 6 months, but I would say 1 or 2 months. You should try running a shared rewards party for all of your customers on Table, because that is a great way for you to learn. You are the host, then you're going to be able to, coach yourself and then kind of learn the inner workings of everything. And then, maybe have one of your great friends that loves to host anyway, try one on there. But definitely look at all the stuff they have on Table Tips. It will really, really help you. That's how I learned. It's all right there for you. It's really not complicated. It's actually so easy. Like I can set up a party in like 2 minutes. And that is also scheduling all the content. So you may hear people say, oh my goodness, it's so complicated. I don't get what this means and I don't get what that means. Try to block that out and just take the Table Tip training and you will understand it easily and quickly.
Absolutely. Well, anytime we learn something, you have to put more time in to learn, and then you can execute.
Correct.
Are you marketing the test kitchen lives in your parties specifically, or letting the companies post take care of that?
I would say I let the company's post do it. And then I market it to my VIP people in my Facebook group, which I've had a few people say, yeah, I want to check that out. But I'm still trying to figure out the best way for that, because people think it's just an automatic cooking class that they can just come to and not have it be associated with a party. So it's like an extra bonus for my parties where I have hosts and then their guests, that it's just right there. But otherwise, I'm still figuring that one out a little bit more.
Okay.
I would almost rather go live myself.
Right.
So
some people have requested, like, they love your checklist. If you have a checklist, like daily, what you do, if that's written out, if you could put that in
on a Google
get it
spreadsheet.
to Denise or put it in the chat group or however that's formatted.
Sure.
Denise, is it better she gets you everything and you do one post follow up?
Send it all to Denise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's normally what happens. They just send everything to me and then I post it and everything is posted in guides in the group, and everything is shared with each of the orgs, so that if they're not in Nancy's downline that or in the first or part of that group, then each of the organizations will get it to also post on their pages, just so everybody knows. I'm
Absolutely.
getting a lot of questions. Okay.
Okay, so one more question came in. I promise this is the last question. You have been awesome, Jen.
Yeah.
So do you archive old groups, and how do you go live into all the groups?
Oh, yeah. I always archive all my table parties at the end, like when I'm actually submitting the host order and it's totally closed, it's archived. I know some people will leave them open. I don't really know why I would do that. It's just going to make it more hassle for me to try and find people's parties. I like to clean things up so that when I open that little drop down of current parties going on the table, little arrow, I see 3, 5, 8, whatever I got going on, because I don't want to sort and take time for that. And then to go live, we have this new thing on table called Event Manager. You click on that tab, it'll ask you like what to put in there, like where are you going to go live, when, what time, little mini description. You just follow that. And then it'll even ask you which parties do you want to go live in when you do it. So let's say it's Tuesday at 7 p.m. You can set that up today. You could set it up last week. It doesn't matter. I am in favor of setting it up when the most people are going to see it. So if you're going to go live, you should have it set when your party is just having people come into it. Don't like set it up in the middle of the party because people aren't going to see it. So have that preset, because it's always at the top. Whatever event is going on is always at the top. And then it's really easy.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure there's a video on it in Table Tips, but it's also very intuitive when you're setting it up too.
Jen, this is awesome. I would love everybody to come off and just say thank you to Jen, and just maybe in the chat, just share one thing that you're like most excited about. I just am excited about all these. And I think a lot of what you shared is transferable back and forth a little bit between Table and Facebook, but I love that you focused on Table, and you really gave a lot of people confidence and encouragement. And I can tell messaging that they were so excited. So thank you so much. Everybody say thank you. Work less hours. Awesome job.
Yes.
You can't read it fast enough, but I want you to stay on to let you read it.
I'm going to save the chat.
You save the chat. We will not get off. So I don't know. Are there any other announcements, Patty or Denise, or I can only see a few people. I don't know if anyone else is on that needed to make an announcement.
I think, actually, I think this is it. Jen, I cannot tell you, I couldn't write fast enough. Thank goodness that this is actually being recorded. And also I want to thank Cindy. Thank you so much, Cindy, for filling in for me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, she was kind of my yeah, there you go.
As your wingman.
Yeah, you were my wingman. I love that. Thank you.
As your voice.
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
And I just want to say thanks for having me on. I know that Table hasn't always been the most popular, but I do think it's a very viable option, and people try not to read about the negativity that people have, because are they really doing all the things or are they not? So take it from someone who has tried literally everything in table. I'm also on the table council. So we were meeting weekly. We're now meeting monthly, just starting this month, but we have really gone through everything. So.
Awesome. That's
Thank you.
great. Well, we will stay on and let you record, let you do the chat. You want to take a copy of that. Awesome. Thank you guys. We'll see everybody back in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Hi, Nancy. You're muted. Nancy, you're muted. Is it the middle of the night for you?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's so good to see you guys.
I
Hi,
know.
Patty. Yeah, I got up at 5 a.m. to watch.
Oh my gosh, I would have gone hit the recording, but I guess you miss a lot live, don't you?
Well, if I don't watch it live, you know what? I just don't get back.